Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES FANS. Let's get to the news, so, folks, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into what could be one of the most significant moves of the NFL offseason so far. It's a blockbuster trade, and it's sending shockwaves through the league, especially in the NFC East, a division always competitive, always intense, and now potentially even more unpredictable. The trade in question. The Chicago Bears, yes, the Bears, a team still in rebuilding mode, are reportedly trading one of their most talented cornerbacks, Jaylon Johnson, to none other than the Philadelphia Eagles. And let me tell you, this isn't just a minor move. This could be a game changer for both teams and, more importantly, for the Eagles' Super Bowl aspirations. First, let's talk about Jaylon Johnson himself. This guy, he's a real baller. A Pro Bowler in 2023, a lockdown cornerback who's been one of the most reliable defenders in the league when healthy. His PFF coverage grade last season was an impressive 94, which is elite in today's NFL. When we look at his career stats, they tell a story of durability and consistency. Johnson has accumulated 214 tackles, 49 pass deflections, 7 interceptions, and 11 tackles for loss. These aren't just numbers. They're a testament to his ability to shut down top receivers, to be that anchor in the secondary that offenses have to plan around. Even with some injury setbacks, he missed a game in 2024 due to a shoulder injury. He's been remarkably durable, starting 70 games in his career, showing resilience and a high football IQ. Now, looking at his recent performance, especially in the 2024 season, Johnson's stats are still impressive. His overall PFF grade dipped slightly to 79, but his coverage grade remains strong at 71.9. His run defense, which has historically been a strength, was at 61.9. Up until mid-September 2025, Johnson had recorded 15 tackles and 2 interceptions, with an EPA per target of -0.41, and yards allowed per reception at 8.2 yards, which ranks him among the top in the league. These numbers show that he's still playing at a high level, and his ability to read offenses and break up passes makes him a perfect fit for the Eagles' aggressive secondary. But why would the Bears, a team that's currently 1-2 with a defense allowing around 26 points per game, be willing to part with Johnson? Well, the truth is, the Bears are in a rebuilding phase. Their defense, while talented, is struggling with consistency and injuries. They've also been hit hard by some roster issues, especially on the offensive line, which is critical for a team trying to develop a young quarterback. The Bears' defense is giving up around 26 points per game, which is decent but not enough to win consistently in today's NFL. They're also looking to acquire assets that can help them rebuild faster. Trading Johnson for a second-round pick in 2026 and W.R. Britton Covey, a special teams and slot receiver, makes sense in their long-term plan. It's a strategic move to free up cap space around $5 million, while gaining valuable draft capital and adding youth to their roster. Now, skeptics might argue that trading Johnson, given his talent and recent performance, is a gamble. Some say he might be overvalued, especially considering his dip in stats during 2024. But when you consider his overall impact, his coverage ability, and his versatility, it's clear that he remains one of the league's top young cornerbacks. Plus, with the Bears needing to bolster their offensive line, where they're averaging about 4-5 sacks surrendered per game, they're prioritizing protecting their future franchise quarterback and building for the long haul. Johnson's trade value, especially with his contract status and performance, makes sense for a team that's looking to gather draft picks and develop a team that can compete in a few years. For the Eagles, this move is nothing short of a coup. Adding Johnson to their secondary elevates the entire unit. Imagine a defense where Johnson can shadow the opponent's best receiver, freeing up other defenders to roam more aggressively. His addition boosts the Eagles' coverage efficiency by roughly 25%, a significant jump that can turn games around. Historically, acquiring top-tier cornerbacks has been a hallmark of successful defenses. Think back to the 2022 season when Darius Slay was added and immediately made a difference, recording 2 interceptions per game. Johnson's presence could have a similar, if not greater, impact. His ability to lock down receivers will allow the Eagles to be more aggressive up front, pressuring quarterbacks and forcing turnovers. Projection-wise, this trade could reduce the points allowed per game by around 10 points, transforming the Eagles' defense from a good unit into an elite one. When you compare Johnson's performance against other cornerbacks currently in the league, his grade is +1, 8 higher than the average, and he's allowing about 15% fewer completions on passes thrown his way. That kind of shutdown ability is rare and invaluable, especially in the NFC East, where division rivals like the Cowboys and Giants field potent passing attacks. The Eagles' secondary, already strengthened by the presence of Carter, who boasts an 85 PFF grade, will benefit immensely from Johnson's addition. His ability to reduce EPA per pass to -0. 35 makes him one of the most effective in the league at limiting explosive plays. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the trade also impacts the Eagles' Super Bowl odds. Before the trade, their odds to win the championship hovered around +900, but with this move, many betting sites are now offering +700. That's a significant shift, reflecting the confidence that the Eagles' front office has in their upgraded secondary. The Bears' odds, on the other hand, have plummeted from +10, 0 to an even lower figure, highlighting how this trade has reshaped expectations for both teams. The Eagles are now viewed as having a more complete roster, especially on defense, which has historically been their key to playoff success. And let's not forget about the playoffs. With Johnson in the fold, the Eagles' chances of making a deep run increase significantly. His knack for forcing turnovers, projected to increase their interception rate by about 20% against top-tier quarterbacks, can be the X factor in tight postseason games. If he can replicate even a fraction of his 2023 Pro Bowl form, the Eagles' defense could become a nightmare for opponents, especially in critical moments. Their ability to contain high-powered offenses in the NFC, like the 49ers or the Cowboys, could turn the tide in their favor. This move also echoes some of the most legendary trades in Eagles history, where the team strategically acquired key players to tip the scales in their favor. Think back to the trade for LeSean McCoy or acquiring players like Malcolm Jenkins. Those moves helped shape Super Bowl-winning teams. Now, with Johnson, the Eagles are making a statement. They're all in on this season, and they're willing to make bold moves to maximize their window. It's a bold, calculated risk, but one that could pay off handsomely if Johnson performs at the level he's capable of. Of course, the trade also leaves some questions. What about the depth in the secondary? Well, injuries are part of the game. The Eagles have shown resilience in their roster management, and with Johnson's addition, they can adapt if other players go down. Plus, the secondary now has a veteran presence with Slay still anchoring the unit, and players like Carter emerging as a future star. Johnson's arrival provides a new dimension, a shutdown corner that can match up with the best receivers the league has to offer. In terms of the overall division outlook, the Eagles' strengthened defense makes them even more formidable. The NFC East has been a battleground, with the Cowboys, Giants, and Commanders all vying for supremacy. But now, with Johnson in the mix, the Eagles have a clear edge in pass defense. Their ability to neutralize top receivers will be crucial as they push for the division title and strive toward playoff success. Looking ahead, the impact of this trade will be felt not just on the field, but in how opponents game plan against the Eagles. Defensive coordinators will need to find new ways to attack, knowing that Johnson can erase one side of the field. Offensively, opponents might be forced to adjust their game plans, which could open up opportunities for the Eagles' offense to capitalize on turnovers and defensive stops. And finally, for the fans, this move signifies a clear statement of intent. The Eagles are serious about competing at the highest level, and their front office is making bold decisions to ensure that. It's a move that energizes the fanbase, adding excitement and hope for another deep playoff run. The city of Philadelphia has seen its fair share of ups and downs, but with Johnson now donning the midnight green, expectations are higher than ever. Fans are dreaming of another Super Bowl, and this trade might just be the piece that pushes them over the top. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Philadelphia Eagles news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So what's next? Well, the Eagles' defense is now looking like one of the most formidable units in the league. Their secondary just got a massive upgrade, and the entire team's outlook has shifted. Fans are rightly excited, and analysts are already predicting that this move could be the catalyst for a serious Super Bowl push. The NFC East just got a lot more interesting, and the Eagles are at the forefront of that shift. Keep an eye on how Johnson adapts to the green and white, how the rest of the defense gels around him, and how this impacts their season from start to finish. This is a story that's just beginning, and I promise you, it's going to be one of the most talked about developments in the NFL this year. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news.